Thousands of people are celebrating the life and music of rapper Nipsey Hussle.
A 25-mile procession of fans is still winding its way through the streets of LA. See It Live starts now.
We lost an incredible soul. We lost someone very rare to us, and we lost a real one. And we won't ever be the same.
Nipsey Hussle's fiance was among thousands of people remembering a man who tried to lift his community up through music. Good evening, I'm Susie Plascencia.
And I'm Arlissa Norman. Many family members eulogized the singer and community leader during the hours-long ceremony at the Staples Center.
I am happy. I am complete. I am strong. And if I can feel this way, so can you.
Everybody here already knows Nip, man, and through the music, personally, I swear to God, everything he said in the music was who he was, and it's not too much I can't tell you about him, and I just hope that he knows we all proud of him.
On the night of April 2nd, I had a dream. I was in paradise, and I was playing in the ocean water when Aramis popped up right behind me. I turned around and I yelled his name and I gave him a hug. So when I told my mom about the dream, and after I told her, I was thinking about it, and I realized that Aramis told me what heaven was like. He told me it was paradise.
My pain is for my 2-year-old that probably won't remember how much his dad loved him. Aramis always used to say that you can't possess people, that you experience them. And I'm so honored and blessed that I got to experience such a man.
Like to read a letter from the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama, sent in regarding the life and celebration of Nipsey Hussle. Friends and family of Nipsey Hussle, I've never met Nipsey, but I've heard his music through my daughters. And after his passing, I had the chance to learn more about his transformation and his community work. While most folks look at the Crenshaw neighborhood where he grew up and only see gangs, bullets, and despair, Nipsey saw potential. He saw hope. He saw a community that, even through its flaws, taught him to always keep going.
More than 21,000 people came out to pay tribute to Hussle. Reporter Tanvi Varma was there as people arrived.
Nipsey Hussle's memorial at Staples Center brought together fans, music, and even dancing to the streets of downtown Los Angeles.
He touched the world. That's an important brother. He's a philanthropist, gave back to the community, real honest man. And we witnessed his growth as LA natives. We saw him evolve into this.
The Nation of Islam, an African-American political and religious group, passed out newspapers that commemorate Hussle's life. Members came from all over California to pay their respects.
We've donated 50,000 newspapers to the community of Los Angeles and cities nearby in a celebration and respect for a great brother who did a great work in our community, employing black and brown people and being an example of like a rose that grew out of the concrete.
Thousands of people gather here today at Staples Center to celebrate the life of Nipsey Hussle. As you can see behind me, many are rocking blue from head to toe.
That's what he rocked. He was 60s Crip, so they rocked blue. What was his color? That's he rocked it all the time. So Nipsey, that's everybody rocking blue for him today.
Some fans experienced the celebration of his life outside because they weren't able to get tickets.
Too many people were on the site at once and it glitched, so there were people waiting, hours.
Those who couldn't get in still felt the magnitude of the memorial surrounded by Hussle's fans outdoors.
He's very loved. Bottom line, he's loved, very loved. And, and man, it's just like, it's gonna be, some people gonna be lost without him.
That overachieved the overachievers. So you got people like Biggie, you got people like Pac. They died broke, their moms had to come back and sue the record companies and get their money. Nipsey Hussle surpassed all of them.
His death, heartbreaking, but some believe his legacy will last forever.
I'm here for is to convey the message that death is not the end, that life is eternal, and that his spirit is even more powerful.
Fans say that not only is Hussle a legend, but Nipsey Hussle will be the king of hip-hop forever. For Annenberg Media, I'm Tanvi Varma.
Keeping the peace was a top priority at today's memorial. Security prep started hours before the event. LAPD officers fanned out across downtown Los Angeles to assure the event was safe and to keep traffic and crowds under control.
Traffic was a major concern during a 25.5-mile procession following today's memorial. That procession, still going on right now, stretches from downtown LA through Inglewood, South LA, and Watts. The line of cars and supporters is passing by Hussle's store and will end at the Angelus Funeral Home in the Crenshaw district. The procession moved across Vermont Avenue, just west of USC. We talked to spectators near campus.
I just want to pay my respects to Nipsey Hussle. He's been a really big part of this community, so I just want to, say my last goodbye.
I'm out here for the love, I'm out here for the people, for the togetherness. I hope that we get rid of the blue and the red and just keep it black.
We got to keep it going, a positive person, back to speaking Martin Luther King. You have somebody like that around you and your peers and around your kids, your family listen to us, one man, just how much one man brought us together,
USC students and Los Angeles residents said their goodbyes to Hussle as a procession takes what is being called a final victory lap to Angelus Funeral Home. The procession for Hussle passed in front of Hussle's clothing store, the Marathon. It has become a unifying symbol for fans and a sacred ground for those mourning his loss. The store is located at the intersection of Slauson and Crenshaw, to be renamed Ermia's Nipsey Hussle Artgadon Square. Nearly 500,000 people signed a petition to change the name. LA City Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson says he will submit an official motion to rename the square tomorrow. The Marathon clothing store opened last June in the Crenshaw district. It sells LA streetwear, graphic t-shirts, and other clothing with Crenshaw and Marathon closing logos. In February, Nipsey Hussle bought the entire plaza with the idea of turning it into affordable housing units. Our reporter Anwar Stetson is live from across the store just moments ago.
I'm right outside the Marathon store on Crenshaw and Slauson. This is where Nipsey Hussle was slain over a week ago, and it's also the store that he owned. As you can see, just about all of South LA is here, and they're here. It's waiting for Nipsey Hussle's hearse to come through right down this area. The hearse is actually right now on La Brea, but they're trying to head over to Crenshaw and Slauson, but there are just so many people that want to see. They're getting stopped at every major intersection. Now, obviously you see Nipsey Hussle was just such an integral part of the community here, so that so many people have come out to support him. Obviously, he owned the Marathon store, if you can see it down there, and he owns also the two other businesses to the right, the Fish Shack and that barbershop. Our own Susie Plascencia was actually right in there at the Marathon store earlier today. Let's toss to see what she got earlier at the Marathon store.
So I came out here just to show my respect to the family. I knew I wasn't going to be able to attend the funeral. So as a community advocate, I wanted to come here and just show my love to his family and him and just be in support and just support and say stop the violence.
The city's hurting. The city's hurting. We've lost a true community hero, somebody that embodied giving back, reinvesting into your community. He really gave us a blueprint on how we can stop violence in our communities and really invest in the future of our youth and stop all this violence. So what we've seen is just a lot of people hurting, but also a lot of people motivated and touched to do more.
Judy Wandu is a USC alumna and was at today's celebration of Nipsey Hussle's life. She was one of the lucky people to get tickets. Judy, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how difficult was it to get tickets? How did you get tickets?
So I initially tried to get tickets online to go with a group of my friends, and I used the AXS app, and we had all been on the app about 9:55. The tickets went live at 10 a.m. We were in a waiting list for 30 minutes, and we could not get tickets. So I ended up getting tickets through Karen Civil, Nipsey Hussle's brand manager, my sister and I, and yeah, that was the only way to go for me.
Wow. So tell me, why was it so important for you to be there today?
It was just really important to pay my respects to Nipsey Hussle. Being an LA girl, born and raised, I mean, Nipsey Hussle's music is something I grew up with, listening to him and Don Kennedy in my teens, and he was just such a good person in the community. He obviously grew up in certain circumstances, and he was a part of the Rolling 60s, but he flew above his circumstances and always wanted to give back. He always wanted to make the community such a safe place, unite everyone, and that's what he's doing today. When I see the procession going by, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what he stood for, and it still lives on.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about how he had a personal impact on you?
So I met Nipsey once before, last year at the BET, during BET weekend with Lauren, and he was just such a humble spirit. What I loved about him is that he wasn't one of the rappers that wanted to chase clout and wanted the money. He lived outwardly instead of thinking about everything that could come to him. He always thought about what he could give back. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, it doesn't matter who you are, what you do. It's important to learn that kind of, like, Nipsey can have an impact on you, because basically we all should think about, what can I give? How can I help someone? Even up until the moment that he passed away, he was helping someone who had just been released from prison get clothes from his store. So that's just the mindset that he had that impacted me.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about, Nipsey seems to have an impact on a lot of people. Can you talk about what the energy was like in the Staples Center today?
Well, starting off, there was a little bit of fear at first. There was no reason to have it, but there was fear because there were a lot of Crips in the area, and then there were some people from other gangs that were paying respects. And there was a tiny little scuffle that was starting around security. But once you got inside, everybody was just so united. It was just amazing. The energy, it was packed, first of all. There were people standing. There were some people who could not be seated. Everyone was listening to Nipsey Hussle music in the beginning, like, make some noise for Nipsey, and everyone was just like a family. There were people putting their arms around each other, and we didn't even know each other, and it was just like the kind of bond that Nipsey would be proud to see. It was so energetic in there, but it was also emotional.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about some of the more moving moments?
The moving, I think for me, seeing his brother Sam speak and knowing that they were so close was so emotional. When Karen Civil read the letter from Barack Obama, that was emotional. And I know it was really hard for her to read that. But seeing his little boy Cross, who's 2 years old, grab the mic when him and Lauren and the kids had gone up on stage to pay their respects, Cross was just like giggling into the mic, and he's so young that you can tell he doesn't know what was going on, and that was a really emotional moment for a lot of people in there. It was like a kind of like, there was like the laughter and the relief we needed from him being so funny, but at the same time it was just like, this is an impact here, like, he's 2 years old, his son.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to share your experience with us. We really appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Susie, let's go back to you.
Hussle's death leaves a hole in the Los Angeles community and beyond. His attachment to his neighborhood, Crenshaw, is regularly in the spotlight, but his loss also serves as a blow to the lesser-known Eritrean community.
I think that was like a huge thing with Nipsey, is that he really put Eritrea on the map. Like, if I look at Nipsey's picture long enough, it makes me emotional because I can pinpoint features that are similar to my own, similar to my cousins, similar to even my dad's. Like, it's one of those things that when you see yourself being represented in popular culture and now being exalted, especially after his death, you're just like, that could have been any one of us, and because he looks like one of us.
Hussle began his music career in 2005 with the release of his mixtape Slauson Boy. His music became well known for his gritty street observations. In 2018, Hussle released his first studio album, Victory Lap, which was nominated for Best Rap Album at the Grammy Awards. Hussle's music sales continued to soar in the weeks following his death. His most recent album, Victory Lap, is #2 on the Billboard 200, its highest peak ever on the charts. The overall consumption of the album was also up to more than 2,000% last week. Hussle has 5 projects to be featured on the Billboard 200.
Hashtag celebration of Nipsey Hussle and hashtag Nipsey Hussle Memorial are trending not just in LA, but nationwide. Celebrities like Snoop Dogg and thousands of vocal fans are mourning Hussle's death and celebrating his legacy online.
We have 760,000 posts about Nipsey Hussle, his memorial, the services that are taking place. That is a pretty substantial amount of people posting or putting tweets and other social posts out there on a single day. Joy has gone up to 66%. So joy is the dominant emotion that people are expressing on social media, and it's the joy, the celebration of Nipsey's life, the celebration of what he was doing for the community.
Twitter users who saw the hashtags were able to follow the live streams of Hussle's memorial service. Even hours after the service, tweets are still pouring in and showing fans' love for the rapper.
Since Hussle's death, artists in LA have created several murals to pay tribute to the impact he had on many lives. You can see some of the elaborate artwork in this video. People from across the country are traveling here to pay their respects and show gratitude for Hussle's work in improving the LA community.
Whoever the artist is, they got it done so fast and everything, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm just so proud to just be here. I'm coming from Washington, D.C., across the nation, so definitely, great to see this in person.
We just want them to know he ain't forgotten. He loved all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to here. So we want to show that love. Want to let everybody know we traveled all the way here just to show that love.
So I think it's great that people out here and aware and have that much respect to paint such a great picture of him on the wall. So that's great that the youth is inspired. So.
The Hussle and Motivate mural in downtown LA on Violet and Mateo Streets reminds fans to continue his community work. Another mural on Estudio Avenue in East Los Angeles incorporates the motivational lyrics from Hussle's song Victory Lap. Local residents are also paying homage to the rapper.
Whoever the artist is, they got it done so fast and everything, but it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm just so proud to just be here. I'm coming from Washington, D.C., across the nation, so definitely, great to see this in person.
We just want them to know he ain't forgotten. He loved all the way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin to here. So we want to show that love. Want to let everybody know we traveled all the way here just to show that love.
So I think it's great that people out here and aware and have that much respect to paint such a great picture of him on the wall. So that's great that the youth is inspired. So.
Hussle was an inspiration to Angelenos for his values and activism. His legacy now lives on in the murals across the city.
Thanks for watching See It Live from everyone here at Annenberg Media. I'm Arlissa Norman.
And I'm Susie Plascencia. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Good night.